Now, when you sell something, this is how you pack. A little bit of time and effort ensures, let's hope I don't have to repeat my words, ensures that it turns up safe and sound. So let me just finish off and we'll be back in a second. So, we have purchased a Class 43 Intercity 125. It's a Lima version. I presume this is the Park Eye by the feel of the weight. Yeah, the traction tyres there. Sold as a running order. Obviously it looks like she's done a few miles, but I don't know whether you can replace these wheel sets or not. But it's going to be stripped and cleaned, converted to DCC. What I would like to do is get hold of another power car or the power bogie and convert that car as well, so that it will be powered both ends. I've also got a Hornby variant as well, which I'm planning on doing the same. So if any of you know of a power bogie or another power car, either a Hornby BR Blue, well it doesn't matter because I was going to swap the bodies, but yeah, I need the engine, basically the power unit, to transplant and have power both ends, convert to DCC. So I've always heard that the Lima body is slightly better detail, although neither of them are perfect, but then they can't get it right nowadays, can they? But yeah, they don't feel quite as plasticky and toy as the Hornby one, which Lima ain't exactly, never used to be top drawer, but they're quite well regarded now. And Hornby coaches. Yeah, so that cost me I think about £51. And there's two sold for £45 and £50 over the weekend that are just the power cars with no coaches. I mean the coaches generally make £10–15. Some of the Zurich and Lima ones are making £20 each. And I've seen people asking £30–40 just for the power unit. Hence, I ain't paying that when, you know, I can buy a whole nother set. So yeah, that's one of the well, I say up and coming. It will be another project that will be in the box ready to do at some stage, converting one or two of these to DCC, a bit like Mr. Bishop has just done on Chadwick Model Railway. But I've got some circuit boards to go in, as opposed to having like the little small block that you solder the wires to. Depending on how much room there is in these, I may or may not buy them, but I have got a little circuit board that takes an 8-pin chip and has got the terminal tags on it for the outputs for the running lights to go on. And I don't know whether you can buy a pre-made lighting kit for the Lima ones. I know you can get one for the Hornby, but I've never had a Lima one. It's not even took this apart. But yeah, I'll sort of looking at modifying this at a later stage. We'll just make sure it runs in DC at the minute. But that was a nice little find. And today's mailbag also brought me another Lima PTA. A PTA with a difference. It's in bits, nothing too dire. But for some reason it came with no wheels, which did help, obviously, buying it for a reasonable price, because a boxed one made £17 something plus the shipping, so like 20 quid for one of these. I've got a load of the cool variant, but I'm trying to get hold of some Yeoman rolling stock for a Yeoman 59 that I haven't bought yet, but yeah, I'd like some Yeoman rolling stock to go behind it. But for some reason it's detached from the bodywork. It doesn't look like there's any issues with it. It's obviously the trailing one, because it's got the buffers on it. With the appropriate cutback for the bodywork. It should just clip back in, so I'm just going to glue that, because every time I move it the bloody thing falls away. But it all appears intact, other than the fact must have been on a council estate. They've had it up on bricks and nicked the wheels. I'm not sure what size these are. Probably, presumably an oddball bloody size that I haven't got, 10mm or something. But I'll have to dig one of the other ones out and measure it. And so I won't have any wheels, and it'll cost more for the wheels than the bloody one with wheels would have cost. And I've also got a spare chassis frame. So, you know, yeah. Don't know what will happen with that. End up in a spares box forever, because I can't see a pair of bogies and a body turning up anytime soon. But you never know. But I used to go to these swap meets and toy sales, and you know, there'd be bits like this in boxes underneath the counters. But last time I went to them, hoping to have a rummage around in the little bits to, you know, pick pieces up like that, there was absolutely nothing. All of the stall holders didn't have anything underneath the tables to rummage through. Bit boring, really. And I haven't been back since the restrictions were lifted last time or this time. I've missed a couple of local ones. But yeah, well, I have to wait and see what happens. Just sort of keep it on the back burner, and if we happen to see a bit, well, maybe we'll make another one. What do you say? Well, back again for another snippet. So a little investigation internally on these. They do work. Well, the lights don't work on the dummy car because they're not in there, along with the cab detail, which is also missing, unfortunately. And a little investigation, the chassis are different. So a power bogie transferred into the other one will not work. As you can see there by my finger, there's a little ledge where the power bogie rests, and you don't have that on the dummy car chassis, so I will need a full powered chassis to get two powered cars in one set. I think with the Hornby one you're okay, but I haven't looked at my old Hornby set. So yeah, and we have no, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, but unfortunately no, the cab is missing inside the dummy car, if there ever was one in that set. I don't know. I've had a quick look on eBay, and some have, second-hand ones have, some haven't. Yes, we've had another parcel just arrive. 3 guesses what courier company delivered that. Their reputation remains as tarnished as ever. I'm just hoping that's the 4 wagons I was on about in the, or 5 wagons, in last night's live random cast that I done. Which was a bit of fun with the old little camera module. Worked quite well, apart from the casting Wi-Fi speed, I think made it a little bit pixelated, but as it went on it improved, so if you have watched it, or bear with it. But yeah, let's have a quick look inside here. Obviously not the same bloke that packed that. Well, at least the damage just looks to be, well, no damage, just a crushed box with lots of space in it, which can go either way. Obviously you leave a bit of crushed space, all the stuff inside still gets squished, so I'll have a little investigation and make sure there's no plastic bits in the bottom of the box. Well, it was my little mixed bag of wagons. Thankfully they are no more scathed than they were in the pictures when I bought them. Fairly typical little, I don't know what this one is, a little flat. Oh, it is a Hornby one, yeah. One of the newer versions of the cheapy plastic chassis, and those horrible white walled wheels that I loathe. First thing I do is get a black marker pen out and make them disappear if I haven't got a set of metal wheels to waste. I wouldn't waste good metal wheels on a little truck like this. Got the weight in it, which is unusual. They usually end up disappearing. but it's all intact, and obviously having the plastic D-lock, they sort of don't stand the test of time, but they are a little bit, obviously they got some give in them. So that one's okay. Could possibly be a future camera truck if I get one of those little cameras. The other one was a northeastern, which caught my eye for my London northeastern run. Obviously a little bit worse for wear. We've got the piece missing there that matches that, but nothing major. Both the couplings have seen better days, but I'm sure a pair of pliers will sort that out. Unusually, we have had a casualty with a buffer head, because this is a cast chassis. It's actually a Wren. I've got a few Wren wagons, not many. Now the tyre has come off there. I have pushed it back on, but it looks like that wheel is a little bit buckled. Now these are obviously metal chassis, so you can't prise them open and pop a new wheel set in. You have to release the little carriers by the tip of my thumbnail and slide that assembly out. But yeah, other than that it looks okay. Just the minor little bits that broke off, but considering what that will be, 50 years old, hopefully I can straighten that coupling and it won't snap, and I should be able to drill that out and maybe place a nail head or something, a tack, to replace that buffer head. So yeah, that's that one. This one, well, it turned up in many a train set, didn't it, in various guises. And yes, the much sought after HAA MGR merry-go-round coal wagon, which still has the whiskers on the couplings or bogie frames intact. And I know some people glue them because they have problems with running them, but I've yet to have a rake long enough to run. First world problems, as they say. That end's seen better days, so well, we have to be getting the spares kit out to put a new set of buffers on that end. And they're the usual other thing that if the kids have had them they get broke, is those metal spurs. Again, that's something you could repair with a bit of plastic card. But considering people are paying £12 and £15 plus postage just for one of these, which is ludicrous to me, as much as I want them, I ain't paying that sort of money. So we got that, needs a little bit of repair, and the old Triang grain, or sometimes they were, I think, green with an engineering E. The operating cool door. This one's had the usual, obviously it catches on the Hornby power connector, so they bend that up, and this looks to have some putty or something stuck in it to stop the trapdoor dropping down, but that will be reverted back to operational conditions. Here's the earlier one with the old split axles. I've got a lot of these, so I may do the old John Champs, and I've got the bushes to put finer scale wheel sets in these. And as I said on last night's livecast, I've got the operating or mechanism, the little plastic tray where these come over, and it opens the lever there and the trapdoor drops down and your contents drops out, and then the other, as it passes through, it resets it all back, as long as these spring back, which I may incorporate into sort of like the steam era. So we've got a thingy brook there, but again that's something I can do with a bit of plastic card, and have them operate, and then have some kind of system where you know, they dump the load maybe in a covered over, so it's not quite as evident it's the old Triang thing, but yeah, it's one of the ideas I've got for the layout. So That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wagons, even though the heading was incorrect and said job lot of 6 wagons. But I paid £18.73 to get them to the door, which I think in today's market, when the average is a fiver, people are wanting £5 for them sort of things. 3 if you're lucky for something like that. But these are the holy grail, aren't they? And these on their own, if it's in working condition, are now sort of commanding £8–12 as well, because obviously other people want these who are still modelling the earlier style or using the earlier track. So yeah, another pile for the box with some fix-its for those winter evenings when I'm in my new layout shed. And I'll have several wagons to re-engineer and repair. So back looking here, I've found the lighting kit. Not cheap, it's £18.73, I presume only for one. I might buy one and just see what it's like and see if I can make another one myself. The Hornby variant kit is slightly cheaper, but not by a lot, but obviously they do save you a little bit of grief, and they are the SMDs mounted on a nice circuit board, which is easier if someone with the right stuff does them. So it might be a case of just pay a little more and get a nicer fit and finish than trying to do something myself. But yeah, I need to search for another power car and a power bogie for the Hornby variant. So the search continues.